Peace. No, I'm joking. All right, this is part 2 of developing maximal and relative strength, okay? So in the first video, I talked about ramping to 1 rep, all right? The process is exactly the same if we're ramping for 2 reps or if you're gonna ramp up to 3 reps, okay? I won't go over the whole entire process again, but to keep it simple, let me just explain the 3 reps. And I really like ramping to 3 more than anything. The reason why is because regardless if you're an advanced lifter or even an intermediate lifter, it's just a lot less taxing on the nervous system. Now, you need to stimulate your nervous system in order to get a positive training effect so that way supercompensation can set in. But if you're too hard on your nervous system, it's gonna take a long time to recover. People don't understand that the nervous system can take anywhere from 2 to 3 times as much time as a muscle to recover, okay? So that's why you need a lot of time sometimes in between your workouts. That's also why if you do the same exercise back to back very closely, like say skipping every other day, like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday full body routine, you can't do a lot of weight or you cannot do a lot of volume because you must give the body time to recover, not just muscle-wise, but neurological, CNS-wise. So going to ramping of 3 is more my favorite. A lot of people can handle it. Plus you don't see a lot of form breakdown, okay? So you always want to lift technically and safely. It doesn't matter if it's a bicep curl or if it's a bench press or a pull-up or anything like that. Your form must always be strict. If the form breaks, the set is done. You're not doing any good for yourself by creating improper motor patterns. So let's just take a look at ramping for 3 reps. If I'm ramping for 3 reps, I'm gonna use anywhere between 85% and 90%, okay? And this is a very good system. Like I said before, it's a lot easier on the nervous system and you can build a lot of serious quality strength this way, okay? Now, draw my rag. All right, so let's say you are a power lifter or you are just someone in general that enjoys working towards developing a maximal strength in a certain lift. If you're going to try to create a very powerful back squat, a very powerful deadlift, a powerful standing shoulder press, a push jerk, it doesn't really matter. That movement must be done very often, okay? And there's multiple ways, obviously, of doing that. You could do it more often throughout the week. But one of the famous methods that a lot of people like to use in strength training is the 10 sets of 1. Ten sets of 1 has stood the test of time as far as being one of the most effective ways to build strength. The reason why it's so effective is because if I'm to do, say, 5 sets of 1 on my back squat and then moved over and did other things for my legs, I would have a fantastic workout. But if I want to be efficient at the back squat, I want to be creating the most maximal output in my back squat, then I want to do 10 sets of 1 instead of 5 sets of 1. I want to stimulate my nervous system more frequently with the exact pattern that I'm trying to max out. There's nothing wrong with doing other exercises, and those other exercises will carry over into a better max. Do not get me wrong. If you get bored, this is not for you. You may like West Side System a lot better. They use the conjugated method. They use different exercises that have a crossover effect that allow you to still have a maximal output in their squats or in your deadlifts and so on, in the big basic 3s they call them, bench, deadlift, or squat. But this has stood the test of time from any country, from any strength coach, 10 sets of 1 is one of the most effective ways to possibly build maximal strength in that movement, okay? Regardless of what the movement is. I don't care if it's curls. I mean, you don't see people do 10 sets of 1 on curls, but it'll work, all right? The other method that has also stood the test of time . 5 sets of 2, all right? We have now accomplished the same amount of reps total in 10 sets of 1, except now we used a little bit lighter load, so it's less taxing on the nervous system, a little bit easier for us to recover, but at the same time, we're still accumulating the volume effect that we need to stimulate our nervous system appropriately. Remember from my video back where it said that you need anywhere from 9 to 18 reps, well, 10 reps, you're in the protocol, which means you can hit that muscle group more often later on. Another moneymaker right here, 3 sets of 3. I've seen it time and time again, over and over and over. 3 sets of 3. People will hit up the 3 sets of 3, say on heavy bench, stimulate those fast twitch fibers, then move over into, say, another chest movement with lighter reps to then work on the more oxidative and every other muscle fiber there is. I mean, it seems like every year there's some new muscle fiber. The truth is, they're all fucking same. They just find one inside of another one and they just rename it with something else. But it's either slow twitch or fast twitch. It's either high reps or low reps. It's the same shit. All right. Now, 3 sets of 3 are awesome. I'm not the biggest fan of 3 sets of 3 because I don't feel like it really stimulates you a lot. I think it's really good for, like I said before, doing a heavy bench, stimulating the fast twitch fibers because you got to use a lot of heavy load, then moving over into a lighter load so that way you can get more of a hypertrophy effect. But I'm not the biggest fan of that. I don't think you should train that way too often. I'd say about maybe max 30% throughout the year. I think 70% you should stick to the outperform way, which is undulating. That is the more effective approach long term because it's a constant up and down system that allows the body to never really fully adapt to. There's multiple ways that you can keep stimulating the body so that way there's no adaptation. That way you're constantly breaking it down and having super compensation, breaking it down and having super compensation. The body's always working to get it better. And you don't even have to program deloads into it. Now, if you're an efficient lifter, you may have to put a little bit of deloading in, or if you just feel like, man, I'm hitting the wall, you just take a week off and it's not a big deal. The undulating way to me is by far the most effective method. It's how I train all my clients. I train myself for years, and it's proven. I mean, it's time and time again, it's proven that it's the most effective way. But you can still use 3 sets of 3 and undulating. That's a different video. All right, now, I hope that shed some light on you on helping you develop maximal and relative strength. I will get into another video soon about developing strength for people such as BJJ guys and wrestlers, people who have to be in a certain weight class, okay? And I'll go over some of my thoughts on that. All right, y'all have a great day. Leave a comment below. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'll be more happy to answer them.